Welcome back to the Heritage Recap Quickie Edition. I know I missed a live stream this week, sorry about that, but I am feeling better and we will be back with the live stream recaps next week. So the auction took place June 29th, we're here June 30th going over everything that happened. I have the results filtered here from highest to lowest already, so let's just jump right into it here and see what happened. And perhaps surprisingly to most of us, you can see right here the number one game this week was actually Captain Planet and the Planeteers. WATA 9.4 A+, selling for $3,300. Now, this is kind of weird, honestly. I personally did not see this sale coming at this amount either. I already have the search results up here for Captain Planet on Heritage. So you can see that there were a couple of copies that have sold on Heritage, but both are from 2020, and even the October sale is getting pretty old right now. And eBay had no results in either the completed or active listings. So Captain Planet genuinely seems like a game on NES that just doesn't come up that often. So when you have a really nice one here, the 9.4 A+ come up, I guess the people who won it at that time got into a genuine bidding war for it, and that's where we end up with the $3,300 price tag. Is it justified? Is it not? Is it under? Is it over? We won't know until another one comes to market. A lot of these items, as we know with Heritage, there's a large variance in what it could sell for any given week. This week, Captain Planet did well. Moving right along here, we have a Minecraft Xbox 360 9.6 A+ selling for $3,200. Now, if you haven't been following the video game market as closely, this may surprise you in a lot of ways. But if we go over to eBay even here, I have their search results already up, you can see that a 9.8 A+ Minecraft sold for $1,500. Now that is nowhere near the $3,200 that this sold for, but if we look at this here, you can see that this is a first production of the game. So on the back of the game here, where you can see right here, includes 2-day gold trial to play. On subsequent printings of this game, it does not actually include a 2-day trial. I'll just bring up this listing here so you guys can see. On the back of this listing, if you look in the same place there, you can see that it says, get an Xbox Live Gold membership. So they stopped giving you the 2-day trial of Xbox Live, which honestly is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. It's a frickin' 2-day trial. I don't know why they had to stop including that. So when we get into the first print Minecrafts on Xbox 360, they are supposed to be a lot harder to find. I don't track this title myself that closely, so take that for what it is, but this is a first print, this is high grade, and that is why we see the $3,200 price tag on it. So the next item we have here is a Silent Hill 2 9.8 A+, sold for $3,000. And there actually is another sale that just happened on Silent Hill 2 about a month ago, but if we go into here on Heritage Auctions, and I put Silent Hill 2, we can see that Heritage is showing only this result. I don't know why it's not bringing it up, but you can see I can scroll here. There is no other Silent Hill 2, but luckily I have a screen capture right here of the one that did sell, and it was a 9.6 A+, and it sold for $3,600. So actually, the one that just sold here for $3,000 went a decent amount cheaper. Now, there is another Silent Hill 2 actually coming up in the signature auction right here, another 9.8 A+, which is already bid up to $1,500. So in 8 days, we'll be able to see if this one far exceeds the one that just sold in the weekly. But Silent Hill 2 is showing consistent strength. It is a great game on the system, but the sale of the 9.8 versus the 9.6 might just be noise, might just be a happening, and we'll see what this next 9.8 A+ goes for. Moving on here, we got a Pokemon Yellow 7.0 A+, and this actually sold for $2,800, which is either really high or the one that just sold was really high. So we actually just saw right here that a 9.2 A+ of the exact same variant sold for $3,600. So we're talking a $720 difference between a 7.0 and a 9.2. That gap is way too small to exist. Either this game was grossly underpriced or this game is grossly overpriced. One of the two things is going on there. But again, this is the type of variance that exists when you're holding weekly auctions, and it's only the people who show up each week to bid who bid on these items. You're gonna have these large variances. You can get yourself a deal or you can overpay. Both can happen. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, this is an actual first print of the game with the security strip across the top, and you can see that it sells for $2,200, which is a big difference from the Trilogy editions, which sell for like $500 in perfect condition. This price difference right here, though, is insane. You can see that on April 5th, 2021, one in slightly better condition, right? This is a 9.8 A+ versus 9.8 A. sold for $10,200. Final Fantasy IX, 9.8 B+. I think the B+ seal on this hurts the value more than is being represented here. That means there are holes and or rips in the seal. Getting the 9.8 just means basically you don't have any cracks, so the seal should matter on this one more, but you can see even here in the little picture, right? It's all ripped there across the top of the game. So even in eye appeal, it doesn't look great. But strong sale for Final Fantasy IX. Player's Choice Super Mario Land 2. I think this is also a pretty strong sale here for a Player's Choice version. $2,000 for a 9.2 A++. Warcraft 2, super cool game to see, selling for $1,800 here. Jet Moto, the first game in the Jet Moto series, which if you are a younger collector, you've probably never played or maybe even heard of Jet Moto. I played Jet Moto 2 a lot growing up. I understand that there is some demand for this game. I am a bit surprised at the $1,600 price tag, but really cool franchise, and I know that it has its fans. And just looking it up here, actually, for interest's sake, you can see that the same grade actually sold, what, 7 months ago now? For $660. So almost triple the price in 6 months. That seems insane to me, but just shows Jet Moto is a game that has demand. Operation C and Tetris both bringing in $1,500 respectively. Moving down, we have the strongest Genesis sale of the day, which is Mortal Kombat 2 in 9.6 A+, selling for $1,440, which at face value seems like a strong sale, but I brought up the sales data here and we can see April 5th, 2021, it sold for $2,640. Same grade on this one. So that's a $1,200 difference in 2 months. So not as strong of a sale as you would think if you just look at it. And you can see actually there was a 9.6 A+, a 9.6 A++, and a 9.6 A+, all really close together here. So you have to assume that this is a factory case that was submitted of the game. Maybe people are getting a little bit weary of that. Hard to say. It could also just be pure coincidence that all these came up at the same time, and the third person to post theirs got the short end of the stick. F-Zero X on Nintendo 64 finally getting some respect with a $1,300 sale. And this $1,300 sale is only on a 9.0 A+ copy. You can see here that back in November, we had a 9.6 A++, so almost a perfect copy, sell for $1,200. Now the market is appreciating a lower grade copy far more on this game. So this is a great increase in price for F-Zero X. And I actually am a fan of F-Zero and Captain Falcon, all of that universe. I wish they would bring back the series at some point. This is another one here that might surprise some people. We have Tiger Woods 99 PGA Tour Golf, and this is actually the first time Tiger Woods was featured on the cover of a golf game, as far as my research told me. So that is why we're looking at a $1,200 sale price on this. When a lot of sports card collectors came into the market, they were drawing parallels between rookie cards and first appearances on video game covers, which you can see the comparison. That's very easy to make. Will these pan out in the future? Will this be the great investment that it's supposed to be? I don't know. If you're into that kind of thing, it might be something you want to look at. I personally do not chase after first covers, but I understand the appeal of it. It's really neat. As is tradition, we have our honorary Spider-Man 9.8 A++ selling for $1,000. Get them while they're fresh, get them while they're hot. There's always time for another Spider-Man. Coming into the sub 1,000 games, we're going to browse a little bit quicker here and see if anything catches the eye. I think it's kind of cool to see a game like Skygunner hit Heritage Auctions. It isn't a game that I would personally send in because these usually don't get the kind of appeal or notoriety that you'd expect from this kind of crowd, but $576, not a bad sale for this title. Cool to see some Atlas PS2 showing up. This Super Punch-Out right here is actually only a complete in box, selling for $552. It is a 9.4 though, and 9.4 complete in box is no joke. Once you get into those high grades for CIB, you can't dismiss it. They're always going to do strong at auction. For some of the Wii collectors out there, here's a Super Smash Bros. Brawl. This is the version with the Wi-Fi logo on it, which I guess is an early print. I personally don't follow the variants of Smash Brawl very closely, but this is a 9.2A that sold for $456. WAT is calling it an early print. I do not know if this is the first print though. Someone can correct me down in the comments. This right here, I think, is a complete loser of the day. This is a 9.6 A+ Shien's Revenge on Super Nintendo. A hard game to find even as a cartridge. The cartridge price is $90 to $100. So seeing the 9.6 A+ only sell for $408, I think whoever got this got a great deal on a very hard to find Super Nintendo game, especially factory sealed. eBay currently has no complete in box listings and no factory sealed listings for this title. 9.6 A+, $408, that seems super low to me. Over here, Guitar Hero 2, 9.68 plus, selling for $360. Just very cool, very nostalgic for me to see the Guitar Hero games being treated as collectibles. I love that. Coming down even lower here, we have a low-grade Marble Madness Circle Seal, selling for $312. Honestly, Marble Madness in the Circle Seal, not that easy to find. If this was a higher grade, we could expect it to do way better than it did here at $312. Spy vs. Spy on Xbox. If you're familiar with the NES title, you might be familiar with this game. Selling for $264. I think that's honestly a really strong Xbox sale right here. Just popping over to eBay quick, you can see the factory sealed copies sell in the $60 to $70 range. So I mean, getting nearly 4 times that on Heritage auctions, I think that is a great sale for the person who consigned it. Another Superman selling for $252. This game is available to buy factory sealed from Deal Tavern and other wholesalers. So seeing this sell for $252, I think is grossly overpriced considering you could go and buy a raw one and grade it yourself for about $100. Now I think this is hilarious. An actual Grand Theft Auto Trilogy edition, the one that contains San Andreas, Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto 3, came up on Heritage auctions and only sold for $168. So you can see how much more the market values having them already graded and presented to them than actually just buying these games at the source. I just think this is hilarious to see. And coming down into the very bottom here, our loser of the auction is Joust on the Atari. 6.0B, selling for $57. What a beauty. Okay, this is actually hilarious as well. This is a 6-pack of March of the Penguins on GBA, selling for $65. I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but I think that is just hilarious to see. I should have bought this myself and used it for display purposes, honestly. That'll do it for this week's recap. And if you don't know already, we have a Discord server now. Link is in the description. I hope you guys join that as well. Join next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time for the live auction. And yeah, thanks for tuning in to the recap. Hope to see you guys there.